I think it's also, that was kind of cool at the time, if you think about like shows like Saved by the Bell, there's definitely some diversity that was played to in that show, but everyone was kind of like cool and good looking. And not to say that you guys weren't cool and good looking, because there was definitely some cool and good looking stuff going on there.
Awkward,
but everyone was like, actually that show, what I think was really special about that show is that it made being like goofy and being like a little nerdy cool.
Totally.
It made like it really did. And I think you saw that not only in this show, but in so much programming that came after that. The weird, the awkward, the outsider.
Yeah.
And every teen boy and girl really
I mean think about
character, really.
Like what's his name? Oh gosh, not Seth Rogen. But Seth Rogen's one of them. But the guy that always plays with Seth Rogen, that
Franco?
No.
What's his name?
He's awesome. He has a Netflix show out right now.
Yeah, the guy, the dude.
Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill. We did it, guys. Together, we did it.
I think that whole era of comedy has some...
The Judd Apatow Freaks and Geeks, Misfit.
Yes.
I totally feel you on that. I think it's a super important thing. Definitely. Freaks and Geeks,
everyone...
Malcolm in the Middle.
Absolutely.
Even Stevens. Yes, very much.
It was like the jockey, good-looking, sexy, Baywatchy, Melrose Place type thing was not it anymore.
Right.
It was really more about diversity of character.
It came down Addams Family.
Eccentric, like that. People love that.
You're right. I think that's actually part of why people really still connect to these characters.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, even your character was so obviously like struggling with his intelligence. No, I'm serious. Like he was a specimen and everything else, and he had these great accomplishments.
Well, I think Donnie is kind of is that one archetype that is still ties into that kind of like cool jocular kind of like personality.
Yeah.
But you're right. I mean, but the dumb jock was not unique to our show. So I think he was kind of like that one piece that was like tied to those typical archetypes.
Or even the Beans archetype, with the Dennis the Menace. I mean, how many annoying next door neighbors have there been before me, right? So there was definitely that archetype. And, I feel like I really identified with Beans even a lot because, why is he over here at the Stevens house? It's that need that I think every actor has that need for acceptance, that need that, pat on the head. That's why a lot of actors, I feel, do what they do. They always want that acceptance, that pat on the head. And I feel like maybe that's why Beans was over there a lot.
Oh, for sure. He just was looking for a little family to be around, for
because
sure.
Even when they did introduce the parents, they introduced them as aliens.
Yeah.
Was that maybe a bit of a metaphor, maybe?
I don't know.
Or am I hitting that a little too on the head?
No, I love it.
It's
in the eye of the beholder, for sure.
It's so crazy where they went with that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's
remember
great.
What episode was that?
The Close Encounters of the Beans Kind. That
Oh
was
shoot, guys! I can't wait to
episode
rewatch that. Then
8 or 6 of third season.
Oh my gosh!
One of the two.
Oh my
Wow,
gosh!
that's
I
so
love
great.
that. That's so crazy. Did we jump shark on that episode?
Did we jump shark?
I'm like, that makes no sense for our entire if that really is something we stuck to.
Oh, it's so great.
It's kind of great. Yeah, no, but I think it works. I think Even Stevens was so zany that it went through many waves of playfulness, and I think that was playful.
I just want to know, where the heck was Child Protection Services?
You mean for this?
Yes.
His character?
Child Protective Services, yes.
For him to be over all the time.
We had some little kid running around our house all the time that no one knew where he lived or who his parents were.
I love it. It was very funny. Donna
and Donna's character was a politician.
Right. Why is there a child just coming in and out of your house?
She might have gotten some
pop up out of nowhere
heat for that.
I mean, it was
early. Like, oh God, Beans.
Early 2000s, you could get away with a lot more, and the times were different. You could let your kids play in the front yard back then.
He was very cute. I think that's what it was. He was cute. So then basically it is revealed. This is really interesting. So she reveals herself through the So Lewis tells Ren how much she was wrong about this girl, and Ren gets upset with him, and she's like, get away from me. And then he does these moments in the mirror that he was doing pretty consistently in the beginning of the show.
It didn't continue after that, though, right? I think after the new writers came on, they kind of stopped that. No, I can't recall.
I can't either, but we'll see. We'll keep an eye on it.
They did. They really stopped it.
It was a bit they used to do with Shia, and I forget.
He was a stand-up comic,
exactly,
holding a hairbrush, and it would be like a thing that I think they pitched to the original, show.
Yeah. Well, it was kind of like the Malcolm in the Middle thing, right? Didn't Malcolm in the Middle have?
I think they did something similar.
Yeah, like he would talk.
Well, he was narrating.
He would talk
more
to camera.
like Wonder Years. Yeah, that's right. He would talk to camera.
He would talk to camera, and so this was a very similar thing where Shia would kind of reveal the inner dialogue.
Yeah, it didn't work
through talking.
But I thought it was iconic. Like I actually think, like looking back, I'm like, oh yeah, I see what they're doing here. It's like a very strong-handed approach to. He wants to be a comic. Everybody. He's practicing his comic routine. I can almost hear them pitch it.
He's practicing the bit. I mean, I think it's great, but the problem is, one, you have to be really good at writing those little bits.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of writing to like bring those little like inner monologue moments. But it played out better in the end. I think that those things happened more through the reveal of the development of the story with the characters. But that was definitely a little shtick and you see that in this episode where he's got his little.
He's like
his
brushing his hair and he's trying to.
Yeah.
My sister doesn't think I'm telling the truth, and so he's like, now I got to show her, and without showing her, so he brings me into his closet, tricks me, says he wants me to mentor him, and then I see Ren sees Donnie getting basically approached.
Getting accosted. Got accosted by that girl.
Yeah, she's trying to snuggle with him on the couch. And he's like, I don't know. And so basically what I thought was really cool about Ren, which is why I've said in the past, like, I want to get back to Ren, or, I think Ren was oddly, so much stronger than I was in real life, because she had no problem going down there and confronting this girl.
Yeah.
No problem at all.
No.
Like, he's like, Ren, ha ha ha, where are you?
The
and
switch
she's like,
flipped.
Yeah.
The switch flipped quickly on that one, yeah.
And you really saw that. You really became the big sister that we all know in that episode. It was like that switch, because there was never really that tender moment really between you and Lewis before that.
Yeah.
There wasn't that protective thing of the big sister, little brother. It was always just him kind of screwing with you.
The first time I do it is in the track meet thing when I said, don't mess with the Stevens family,
with him, yeah.
But then it does become a more recurring thing that I get more and more protective of him. I think there's at one point in another episode where I'm like, no one gets to call my brother a maggot but me, or something like that. And that's like totally their dynamic.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I definitely am not afraid of confrontation, and this girl is chased out of the house.
Yeah, well, I thought it was funny that like at the end when you tell Lewis that you'll believe him next time.
Oh yeah, that's
and then
right.
And he starts pulling. Okay, well, remember this time? That was mom. The underwear in the freezer. That was mom.
Me. Yes, he just is such a shit.
She's trying to throw in every little.
And I could tell when I was really laughing. There's a couple times when I'm watching us, and I'm like, oh, I even stopped and tried to show my husband. I was like, you see that? See, I'm really breaking there. He's like, I don't really see it. And I'm like, okay, well then that's just for me to know.
Yeah.
When I'm watching this back, that what my head was going through, what my heart was feeling. And it's really cool, man, to watch these back and kind of, transport yourself.
You really remember?
Willingly, by the way, willingly
Do
watching
you really
this.
remember what you were thinking about 23 years later watching that?
I remember, it's really strange. I'm watching these episodes and those feelings are being located in my body.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember the fabric on that outfit being too tight. I remember the way those shoes felt.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. A lot of stuff is coming up.
Weird.
Nothing negative. All cool. Just kind of oh yeah, this happened.
I definitely remember Marnie yelling at Shia. Marnie, you remember the set teacher with the
she
red
was one of the last
with the red
ones.
hair?
Yeah.
I didn't remember it in the moment, but I had this dream of just her yelling at Shia.
Oh boy, you're starting to have dreams.
Dreams, literally. Yeah, I'm watching
Podcast
this crap.
is gonna start.
And then
in.
dreams are coming back. Now I'm going. Oh, I'm haunted by it.
I think we're gonna start. We're just gonna turn this into some therapy
session
for everybody.
Even more Stevens with Nick helping out.
No, let's bring in a professional. This needs some professional help here.
Even more.
We have some past trauma to heal on everybody.
I know. I know.
Even more ink blots.
But no, it is. It's really cool. It is. It's a really useful exercise therapeutically, I think, if you want to look at it that way. But thanks so much for watching this clip of the Even More Stevens podcast. For full episodes, check us out on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you get podcasts. Do you want more of us in your life? Well, then join our Patreon today. Link is in the description.